Hey there everyone, and welcome to another episode of my Let's Play World of Tanks. I kinda screwed up a little. I had all this, previous saved footage for my Let's Plays and for that, tank guide I was planning to do all saved up and ready to go for when I go on, Christmas break from work and get a week off where I could sit here and do a lot of recording and stuff and editing. And yeah, the game got updated and I forgot to copy my game client information into a separate folder so that I could save the replays, and now they're all gone and bad. So, lessons learned, back everything up, even your client folder. But oh well, it is what it is. No big deal there. It's such a loss, but I will manage, and I will just have to figure something out. So there's another giant setback in the production of the tank guide series, but I was having trouble with it anyway, so you know what, maybe that's a sign to not do it. Who knows, we'll see what happens in the future. So anyway, maybe I'll replace that with something else, which I will demo in another video later this week. But anyway, yes, so I decided that, you know what, we were having a little fun on the forums that I frequent on for my clan for this game. We decided we were talking about we've always been talking about our best games and posting our best games in terms of our tanks and, you know, what our best tanks are. And in fact, one of the questions that we have in the application process for us is, what's your best tank? And what is your most effective tank, which are mutually exclusive. So we decided to have a little fun with what is our least favorite tanks. And as you can see here by my burning several shots for no damage, I have 3 shots in a row there for nothing. It gets quite frustrating. So we decided to list a few tanks we were struggling with, and some of the good ones that came up most consistently was like the A20, which is basically, none of us have found a good use for the A20 if you're not the top tier and there's no one else tier 4 with you other than rush at the enemy base and enjoy the couple experience you get for that. Then there's other fun ones in there, like I put the SU-100M as a rough tank to play. And then put other things such as, yeah, I agreed that the A20 wasn't all that great. Just scrolling through it on my forums, the M7 is a rough tank to use. Man, I've been missing left and right in this battle. I mean, that's very infrequent that I should have missed some of these shots, but I still did. But you know what? At some point I gotta swing it around because I don't want this to be my worst tank, because I absolutely love one of the premium tanks. Premium tanks are like some of my better tanks. So yeah, but the majority of people agree that, hey, there's a few select tanks in the game which really have a tough niche to play, and it's not easy to figure out how to play them, and even if you do figure out how to play them, they underperform in terms of what their capabilities are and just what their potential should be versus what they perform. So, you know, coming out of such a bad start such as this, I'm able to slowly start swinging things around in favor of me. And I mean, people are quick to label the KV-5 as a bad tank. I know Garbad did a whole 100-game series where he tried to prove that it wasn't that bad of a tank. And it took him a little while. Once he learned how to use it and once he started swinging his natural performance into it, he started doing really well. But me, on the other hand, I had to kind of swing a little here and make it work for me, try and figure things out. And a couple bounces here, a couple bounces there, really having to learn how to make this thing not stand out in its weak points, because a lot of people label this thing as quickly one of the not as good premium tanks because of the fact that it has low damage, low pin, and such vulnerable weak spots that it takes a little bit of adjusting to get used to. And for me, I think I kind of got that under wraps. I think I finally learned how to do that. Now, as you can see here, it's a losing battle shooting those tanks. I know that there's a load tracking around behind me, so go ahead and, you know what, I figure, why waste the ammunition and the time fighting those things when I know there's things over here that's going to swing around and take care of me if I don't take care of it. So, what do? Go ahead and let him get lured out into the open, just like this, by my teammates. And so, free reign over 2 of these tanks. I figured that the low's probably the biggest threat. He's going to do the most damage to me and penetrate me the most. So, lucky track there. I'm still able to bounce and take just very little damage, as I'm only suffering 300 damage hit there. I'm gonna rock back and forth. The nice thing that I've figured out about this KV-5 is that while it does have two major vulnerabilities on the front, this thing is a rapid-fire machine. Loading in about 7 seconds, this thing can just churn out the DPS, while it's only doing 250 compared to the 350 of the low, or even higher of the T-34, depending on, of course, of your rolls. This thing's great, and it does have phenomenal armor on all sides. Even though it does have two major vulnerabilities, it can stand there and take quite a few hits. And so, I just need to get to the right angles to damage people. And of course, make sure that they're shooting less vulnerable parts of me, like there's a track as opposed to the R2-D2 turret. And of course, I'm sitting here putting out the damage, and this thing's actually very efficiently good at sniping. So I was able to take out that tank by just shooting his hatch. Very easy shot there. Same with that T-32. He was up there on the hill shooting down at me, but I'm able to range in quickly. My rate of fire is vastly superior to other tanks at my tier, and so my DPS is actually pretty good too. So he backs away, no problems there. Let him back away. And I mean, I already took out the one major threat that was over in that one corner. I think that, what was it, the low I had to forego because I had to forego the lion here because I knew that I had a tank behind me who was able to penetrate and kill me. So, worry about him first. He's a little, there we go. He eventually, the Luba eventually gets taken out by the T-32, so, yeah. Not such a bad tank after all. Quick little shot here. Didn't kill him off, low rolled it, but you know what? Not bad. Knocked him down pretty far. Should be able to take him out with one shot, and there you go. So, again, while this is quick to jump to people's not-so-favorite tanks if they're not too familiar with it, it's, once you do learn it, it's not bad at all. And I mean, it's a little bit of luck involved with it, and a little bit of trial and error and figuring it out, but you know what? It's, not all bad. So what's left over there is a T-34. I figured, you know what, we have a heavy over there and we have an artillery piece over there. They should be able to take care of him. They're all saying that he's one-shottable, so I'm not too worried. I'm going to go ahead and push the cap here because, well, quite honestly, so long as we damage that tank, we're going to be able to easily outcap him. And even if I don't get there in time, it'll be close because he should be at about 50 by the time I get there, and then I should start at 25, so it should even out and we'd get a draw. But we have two tanks there. They should be able to take care of him, no problems. Especially with it being a Tiger. I mean, he should be able to penetrate him easily. Now, yeah, see, I hop on just in time so that I'd bring it to a draw if he doesn't get damaged. But, I mean, it's a T-34. Come on, artillery. They should be able to do it. I did quite a bit of damage there, and as you look up here, I get the nice little display. 5,000 points of damage done. In addition to my cap rate right now, which is absolutely fantastic. So, adding all that up, it's going to be one heck of a good game. I have never done 5,000 damage before. That is just so incredible. So, it's going to be nice to see what the end results are for this tank. Definitely went from one of my least favorite to probably one of my most favorite tier 8s. So, let's go ahead and take a look at that. So there you have it. While not exactly the greatest layout in terms of my crew, as you can see I don't have Brothers in Arms, which I probably need to switch everybody over to, but that would require quite a lot of credits. But I'll get to that anyway. So yeah, getting mastery in the thing, doing a sharpshooter, what was that? No, it was master gunner, and then steel wall. So not bad at all, and then earning right under 150,000 credits is not bad, and 5,000 experience. I think this is actually one of my best games in terms of credit production and experience. And actually, I went on to go and look at Watt statistics, and I believe I am the second ranked player now for the KV-5 in terms of efficiency rating on the thing. So that is fantastic. The fact that it did over 5,000 damage and just was able to cap, and just what all I was able to do. So yeah, let that go to show you that even though some people might think that the tanks aren't all that great, it could be turned around and become pretty deadly if you're not careful. So yeah, let's move on to another premium, shall we?
Let's go.
Going from a lot of people's not necessarily least favorite, but, you know, more difficult Tier 8 premiums to one of people's most favorite Tier 8 premiums, probably because it was given to you free if you had grinded... Grinded? Yeah. If you had accessed it before that the T-34 became made into a premium, which, by the way, when it wasn't premium, it was just a Tier 9, I believe it was fantastic. The DPS out of this thing was just ridiculous. It fired every, what, maybe 6, 7, 8 seconds, and it was just crazy. But now it's firing at about, what, 12 to 14 seconds, and it does pretty decent damage. But anyway, going from one of the eerie gray space premiums to one of the more favorite premiums, this thing is an absolute monster. And you know what? I like playing premiums for pretty much the majority of my games, because, hey, gotta get money, get paid somehow. And so, yeah, can't afford those high-tier tanks or those other battles without making some credits somehow. That doesn't fall from trees and from the sky like I wish it did for me with how much I play this game, but you know what? You gotta do it. And so, I gotta play this tank. It's also one of my most damaging and most efficient tanks, too. While that KV-5 easily was one of my most efficient battles entirely, certainly one of my highest damaging games ever, the T-34 is my most consistent, and that's for sure. Now, something I noticed about this map, though, which I'll point out in my random jostling back and forth between topics, is that the roads are god-awfully curved. I mean, I've never been to a city where the roads are sloped this drastically. I mean, I know civil engineering roads should be sloped in terms of being able to drain water towards the sides. Wasting a shot there. They will allow the water to drain off the roads into the sewage systems. But man, these are some crazy, crazy slopes to the roads so that you could like hide on one side of the road and can't be seen on the other. And I'm sure that's just a little bit of a an error when they were making this map. So I hope that they fix it, because it's a little irritating actually. But we'll see what happens. Otherwise, it's not too bad. Now, fighting all these tanks over here, I do some pretty high damage when it comes to penetrating. 400's a nice hit. Not exactly the best roll this thing can possibly do. What is its average? This thing can manage to do, what? Oh, 400, so it's on the high end of the average, which ain't bad. But, you know what? This thing's mobile. It has a great armor once I get a hold down. And if I, of course, hide behind other buddies who are willing to take rounds for me, it ain't bad either. So, yeah. Now, running premiums is not a free-for-all, just headlong at them. You really want to overperform with your premiums so that you're making as much money as possible. Because if you're doing that, your money is increasing exponentially as opposed to just at a certain rate with your standard doubles. Like, typically, they're at... Oh, that was not the target I was aiming for, by the way. If you were to play your standard tanks, you earn, let's say, X. But being a premium, you earn X times 1.5 because you're getting the premium tank rate, which is added on top of the already 1.5 addition of having a premium account. So the better you do with a premium, the more credits you're going to earn. And of course, the worse you do with a premium, the little effect that all those bonuses stacked are going to make that big of a difference. So in effect, you're really hampering yourself if you not perform to your top in a premium and you're just running out there causing havoc. And plus, a lot of your Tier 8 premiums get top seed like I am now. And so you really have the ability to sway the battle in your favor either direction. And so you need to do your best. So anyway, where was I? Yes. Making money, making bank. So this tank is one of my favorites. Definitely, I don't know, when I compared it to the low, they were pretty much on par in terms of money-making potential, but I don't know, I seem to have favored this thing just simply because of the ability to go hold down, and the gun depression is phenomenal, the armor on the turret itself is just incredible, and just the simple fact that it has such a high hit, whereas the low is more consistent accuracy over range. It's kind of a trade-off. You really see how the three premiums work together, all three heavy premiums work together in tandem. You got the KV-5 who is rate of fire and armor, you have the T-34 who is heavy damage and hold down aspects to it. You have the low, which is long-range sniper, slope armor. So it's kind of a... They kind of have their own playstyles all in and of themselves. Your aggressive person will probably like the KV-4. Your sniper's going to love the Luva. And then your mid-range player or your winner or your jack-of-all-trades tank is going to be your T-34. So it's a nice little triumvirate there, and you can really pick which one favors your playstyle the most. Now, the problem is getting trapped here. I kind of know it. Kind of have to call it as I see it. And this IS-3 really exposed himself in the wrong direction, and that really hurt him. Now, this Panther, he's on the point. I don't know if he's going to, or Pershing's going to be able to survive or not, so I'm going to quickly take him out. Oh, nope, he was able to kill off our Panther just beforehand, so poor Zorro gets eaten up alive. So now I got this, what is that thing called? The FCM, which is the British? No, French. Yeah, the French Premium, who magically ammo racks me from a distance, but luckily I'm able to dodge back in time, so bad on him. There's a hit for you. Retaliation hit. Now, I'm fighting with 2 hits to die. They're all fighting with 2 hits to die as well, except that tank's now, well, he killed off Mike, which is not good, but he's one-hit wonder. The Luva's a one-hit wonder. I'm a 2-hit wonder, so I can risk a few things here. But where in the world is that FCM going? I don't know, but he is actually, yeah, he's just kind of sitting back there. Now, that IS-3 misses, which is fantastic, and this FCM, well, he's moving, but I take a quick snapshot, nail him. Evens the playing field significantly more in my favor. All it's up to this IS-3 and this Luva. Again, can one-hit him. IS, not so much. So he thankfully gets taken out. Our SU decides to risk himself. I can move up. I know I got this wrapped up. That IS-3 probably is a threat, but you know what? I'm going to be able to take care of him. Well, no. There's a good chance that he'll kill me before I would due to his reload speed versus my own. So, just gotta play it real careful and I should be alright. But yeah, so overall, premiums, I luckily deflected. Our Luva's able to get a shot in, and there we go. Win the battle. Let's go take a look at that chart too. Again, not a bad one at all. While, again, I don't have the crew laid out the way I should with Bros in Arms. Again, I probably need to change that. But, needless to say, 107,000 credits and 3,500 experience is not bad at all for a double. I mean, that's pretty dang good. And then if you look at all those hits, 4 dead, 4 damaged. You're talking T-20 with 2 destroyed elements of it, and then up to 2 hits on 2 different tanks, so dealing quite a bit of damage. This thing is pretty intense, especially since I was able to get that snapshot off onto the FCM. That was pretty lucky I was able to do that, especially since the FCM is known for its speed, and the T-34 is not. So anyway, I just want to show you guys a little fun there, and again, I'm sorry that I ended up losing quite a bit of footage here. That's really gonna hurt in terms of my production and productivity. So instead of doing what was going to be a Tank Guide Express series, and it's really difficult to come up with the visuals that I wanted to do. I really don't have the skill for that, and World of Tanks and other people are already covering those sorts of aspects of it. So I'll just comment when I can about them. Instead, I'll have a new series in its place, since that one I kind of ended up losing all the footage. So I'll make up for it in a different way. I will put out that video announcing and demonstrating what that new series is going to be, and it's going to be user-submitted series. So that kind of gives you the idea right then and there what it's going to be, especially since I'm coming from talking with a fellow YouTuber about what he did and how he did it, and just that he had a lot of success and enjoyed it. So I'm going to probably replicate the same thing and just kind of give it my own spin. So I'll put out that demo and information next episode, or next video, I guess you could say, and then I will be doing some other stuff. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode of my Let's Play World of Tanks. I know I'm super fast talking right now, but I'm kind of getting antsy to go and do some stuff here. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next episode.